My name is Peter Gianulis. I'm the CEO of A2 Gold. I've been with the company for 6 years. So for the first 5 years, I've had to weather really, really bad markets and a horrible bear market, but we survived. I think what we did at A2 Gold was a little bit different. We kind of battened down the hatches for 5 years. We didn't want to take excess dilution. And then we've now kind of metamorphosed out of that and into a position where we've gone from a very conservative exploration company to a very aggressive company. And I'm going to take you a little bit through why I think is, what makes us special, what makes us different. There's some great companies here. I know Zane very well. They're right across the valley from us, so we do speak quite frequently. They're a great company, great project. Highly recommend you looking at them as well. But I think what A2 Gold, we focus on one thing, we have since our inception, is finding and advancing large-scale gold, silver projects in the safest mining jurisdiction in the world. What truly differentiates us are a few things. One of it is our people. Second are our investors and backers. And third, and equally importantly, are the projects that we have. So over the last 20 years, our team has been involved, and a lot of our board and management team is involved in many successful exits. Myself has been involved in 6 successful exits over the last 20 years. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot, but in this industry, 6 can be a lot. One of the things we bring to the table is that for investors, I sat on the other side. I was a hedge fund manager for 22 years, first 10 years at Solomon Brothers and 10 years at Carrollton. And in the junior mining industry, got to see some of the goods and the bads, learned quite a bit before I took my turn at running or pretending to be the CEO of a company. And it is different. I have a great appreciation for what it takes to run these companies. So I'm going to focus a lot on this, more than the presentation, more what some of the learning lessons I've learned. I would also turn to our board of directors, like Javier Reyes, who just recently joined us. He's the founder and put together Luca Mining. Javier and I have known each other and been very close friends for the past 20 years. Luca Mining operates in Mexico. Javier and his group, and we joined the Calu group, which includes Gold Group, which is here, Luca Mining, and ourselves. And all have done fairly well. We also have one of the strongest investor groups of any company in the junior space, which includes Kinross Gold, which owns 10% of us. They've invested with us for the past 5 years in 2 different rounds. The Calu Group, which I mentioned, Ingalls & Snyder, a New York-based resource fund, and then recently Eric Sprott. I will also turn to our technical team as a differentiating factor. Arguably one of the most experienced technical teams in all of Nevada. We've been together, the team has been together for 40 years. Actually, our company was founded by one of the most legendary geologists in Nevada, a guy named John Livermore. John passed away 10 years ago, but he did founded the predecessor of our company called the Legion Gold. And besides that, we do have a great technical team that we continue to build upon, and we just hired a guy named John Marma. John Marma is now our new VP of Exploration. He just joined us 3 weeks ago. John Marma came to us via Kinross. He has worked at Newmont Mining, Hecla, Equinox, but more importantly than that, Kinross called us and asked us to look at him as a candidate, and we spent about 3 months getting to know him, and we're happy that he just joins us, and we think it's going to make a major, major difference for us in advancing our projects. And then, I'd be remiss to talk about our project, which we'll talk about, which our flagship project is Eastside. It's a very, very large project. It's 92 square kilometers. It's a district-sized project. We've really only touched or scratched the surface at Eastside, and we still have close to 1.5 million ounces of gold, 9 million ounces of silver, and we haven't even put out a updated resource estimate in over 4.5 years. So we're due to put up a resource estimate probably this year, earlier around April, May, and we're going to anticipate on drilling an additional 30,000 meters, which gets started actually in a few days. And that will be the largest drill program we have ever conducted at A2 Gold or Eastside. And then one other change, and this is really what has most affected us over the past, at least since I've been here, is today we actually have cash. What we did over the bear market years was sell our non-core projects and just focus on non-dilutive financings, such as selling our projects. We kind of broke out of that mold last year. We'd raised money, and today with the warrants that are being exercised over the next few days, we'll have close to $20 million in cash. That's a position I have never been in managing a junior mining company before. And so although we are extremely disciplined and conservative, I'm learning to not be as conservative when it comes to as in the past. So I'll start moving through our presentation. We are in the Walker Lane trend, similar to Zane and Scorpio. Actually, we're very close by. Round Mountain is there, going from north to south, Round Mountain. Then you have Manhattan. You have Viva Gold's Tonopah Gold Project, ourselves to the west of Round Mountain. But we're all operating what we would call the Tonopah Gold District. Our strategic partner is Kinross, and I don't mean they're just an investor. They have a significant role in what we do. We share technical people and technical team at times. They sit on our technical committee. They have an outsized role in what we do. We consult with them quite frequently. They don't have veto power. They don't have the final say, but our project has many similarities to the Round Mountain, especially what's occurring now at their Phase X project. So we do listen to them, and we've shared a lot of insights with each other. Our shareholder base, we've talked a little bit about that. We have 95 million shares outstanding. Those warrants are now being exercised. We have an accelerated warrant program, which I believe that the majority will be exercised. We'll have a fairly clean capital structure after that with about 20 million in cash. Our management team, which I've alluded to a few of them, I'll highlight Norm Pitcher, because who I didn't speak about. Norm Pitcher used to be the CEO of El Dorado Gold, a $7 billion mining company. Norm Pitcher is absolutely fabulous. He's been one of the best assets I've had working as a CEO and work with him fairly closely. But our entire board is actually great. They're all major shareholders. That's what I love about them. They have all put their own money into buying the stock in the open market. I would say in terms of prior to the financing, I personally was the largest shareholder prior to the financing, and I bought about 90% of the stock I owned in the open market, and the same applies to Sean Nichols and Sean McGrath. Our technical team is now started, we're starting to add to it. Norm Pitcher as a geologist, John Marma just joined us 3 weeks ago. Andy Wallace has one of the most well-known geologists in the history of Nevada. Pete Chapman, really understated. Pete Chapman, to me, is one of the best geologists I've ever worked with. He's just very quiet. He's an introvert. He wants to map. He wants to be out in the field. He wants no glory. He wants no spotlight, but just an absolute fabulous individual. We are adding to those teams, so over the next few months, we'll announce a few other people that are joining our team. Now to Eastside. What makes Eastside, I think, special is the size, the quality of the project, and really the expansion potential. We discovered Eastside, so this is not a project that we bought before. It was a project we discovered about 10 years ago, but given the state of the bear market, it was very difficult to continue to spend money on the size. This is a project under normal circumstances would almost be too large for a junior. I only have 1 minute, so I'll kind of run through this. We have two main ore bodies, one in the north called the McIntosh, and the south, the Castle. The Castle's well known because there was a former producing mine there called the Boss Mine. And over this next coming program, we're gonna continue to drill. And let's see, so 2026, what is the program for this year? 30,000 meters of RC drilling. We get started in a few days. The goals, there's 3 goals associated with this drill program. First is some infill drilling in McIntosh, and that is to basically connect certain areas that have been under-drilled. We believe that could potentially increase grade as well as ounces. Castle, under-drilled, we're gonna hit that hard as well. And then we're gonna also be doing step-out drilling at both McIntosh and Castle. And then finally, something that we've been wanting to do for 10 years is essentially explore the other 82% of the property we've never done. So we did a project-wide geophysics program, multiple geophysics program. And I think we're ready now. We have the target selected, and we're gonna hit it pretty hard. And not just our comment, Kinross also believes we still haven't found even the best deposit at Eastside. So we're hopeful for this year. We'll have a lot of catalysts coming up this year. And with that, I'll turn it over. I'd be remiss to just mention quickly, we have 2 other projects, Goldfield West, which is right next to Centerra's Gemfield project. I've always said it was our best project, but it's not the size of Eastside and then Bolo. We just consolidated we now own 100% of that. So I thank you very much for your time. Thank you, and apologize for going over.